Welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive.
Yeah.
Today, we are going to be looking into morning routines.
Oh, yeah.
We've got a great source here, a book called My Morning Routine by Benjamin Spall and Michael Xander.
Yes.
And it's got a whole bunch of insights from successful people and how they start their day.
Yeah.
But I think kind of the point of this deep dive isn't to like find the perfect routine.
Right.
It's more to kind of get ideas and see like what works for other people and why routines matter.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it. It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's more about understanding, like, the principles behind, having a good morning routine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the book kicks off, kind of the first hurdle that everybody faces, which is getting out of bed,
Yeah.
right? And it's like the least favorite part for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
But one person they highlight, Caroline Paul, who's an author and adventurer. She's got this really interesting tactic where she sets multiple alarms,
Okay.
not just for waking up,
Right.
but each alarm prompts her to do like a mini task, like do a couple stretches
Oh, wow.
or tidy up a little area
Yeah.
before the actual get up alarm goes off.
Ah, I like that.
Yeah.
Like little mini quests
Yeah,
to conquer the drowsiness.
totally.
Ooh.
And I think there's something there with like the psychology of, small wins.
Oh, absolutely.
Like you accomplish even like a tiny thing when you're still half asleep.
Yeah.
It kind of builds that momentum.
Yeah, like you're already achieving things
Yeah.
even before you've, like, fully woken up.
Exactly.
I'm
Yeah.
like-
Are you a snoozer?
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Yeah. What's your trick?
I actually have my alarm across the room. So I have to physically get out of bed to turn it off.
That's a classic.
Yeah, it's old school, but it works.
It works.
Yeah.
So we've talked about getting out of bed.
Yeah.
Another big theme in the book is like coffee and tea rituals.
Right.
And it's more than just like the caffeine hit, I think.
It is. It's like a whole experience.
Yeah. They talk about James Freeman, who founded Blue Bottle Coffee, and he has this like vintage espresso machine that he has on a timer.
Wow.
So it's ready like the second he wakes up.
That's dedication.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like this whole sensory thing.
Yeah, I think it really ties into habit formation.
Yeah.
Like those reliable cues,
Yeah.
the smell, the taste,
Yeah.
they signal to your brain that it's time to shift gears.
Totally. Totally. Do you have a drink ritual?
I do. I actually make a cup of green tea every morning.
Okay.
But I really take my time with it.
Really?
I focus on the warmth of the mug, the steam rising.
Oh, that's nice.
It's like a little meditation before the day starts.
I love it. I love it. So moving on from drinks, there's this theme in the book of like the early hours being power hours,
Yes.
where a lot of these successful people, they do their most demanding work first thing in the morning.
Makes sense.
Mhm.
You're fresh, you're focused.
Yeah. They talk about Ryan Holiday, the author.
Yeah.
He has this one thing before email rule.
I've heard of that.
Yeah. So he does like his most important task before even checking email. Right. But then they also highlight that it's not for everybody.
Of course not.
They talk about Scott Adams, who created Dilbert,
Oh, yeah.
and he thrives on late nights.
Interesting.
He uses like the frustrations from the daytime
Huh?
as fuel for his cartoons.
So it's really about knowing yourself, right?
Totally.
Like what works for one person might not work for another.
Yeah. And I think that's key, like knowing your energy patterns.
Absolutely.
Like if you're a night owl, don't try to force yourself to be super productive at 5 a.m.
Find what works for you and build your routine around that.
Yeah. Speaking of building routines, exercise is a biggie in the book,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
but it's for a lot of different reasons.
Uh.
Some people do it for stress relief, some for energy, some for the discipline of it.
Yeah, it's a powerful tool.
Totally.
Yeah.
They talk about General Stanley McChrystal.
Okay.
He does pull-ups every day,
Wow.
even though he hated them at first.
Really?
Yeah. But now it's like this strength that he's proud of.
That's amazing.
Right. And I think it goes beyond fitness.
Mhm.
It's about building willpower,
Oh, absolutely.
consistently doing something you don't want to do.
Right.
Makes other challenges seem easier.
Like you're training your mind.
Yeah. So for our listeners who aren't like, military generals,
Sure.
what's like a manageable way to start incorporating healthy habits in the morning?
Well, it doesn't have to be anything crazy.
Yeah.
Even a short walk, a few stretches,
Right.
taking the stairs instead of the elevator.
Yeah.
These small things can make a big difference.
Totally. The book also delves into a lot of different meditation styles.
Yeah.
And it's not just sitting still on a cushion.
Right.
There's like mindful, running, focused dishwashing.
It's about bringing awareness to whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have this really cool story about El Luna, an artist.
Okay.
She uses a voice recorder to capture her dreams.
Wow.
And then she like analyzes them for inspiration and symbolism and emotions.
It's fast.
Right, and I think that really highlights like what meditation is about.
It's about training your attention,
Yeah.
not necessarily emptying your mind.
Totally.
Yeah.
Where do you find like moments of calm focus in your day?
I actually find it when I'm cooking.
Okay.
I really get into the process.
Yeah.
The chopping, stirring the smells. It's very grounding.
I love that. So speaking of setting yourself up for success,
Yeah.
the book has this whole chapter dedicated to evening preparation.
Oh, that's so important.
Right. It's like how what you do the night before
Yeah,
really impacts your morning.
absolutely.
They talk about Cal Newport, who has this shut-down ritual.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, he has a specific time where he wraps up all his work,
Okay.
and he actually says out loud, "Shut down complete,"
Wow.
to like signal to himself that work is done.
That's a great idea.
Right.
Like a mental closing ceremony.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I think it helps with decision fatigue the next morning.
Oh, for sure. You wake up knowing exactly what you need to do. So you're not wasting mental energy on those early decisions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're actually going to do a whole deep dive on evening routines in the future.
I'm looking forward to that.
But for now, I think it's worth thinking about
Yeah,
what's one thing you could do tonight to make your morning easier.
that's a good challenge.
Right. And lastly, the book really hammers home the importance of sleep.
Oh, yeah. Sleep is everything.
Right. It's like without enough sleep, even the best routine falls apart.
Totally. It affects your mood,
Sure.
your focus, your energy.
Everything. They actually found that the average sleep time for the people they interviewed
Yeah.
was 7 hours and 29 minutes,
Really?
which is more than I expected.
Yeah, I thought these high achievers would be running on like 4 hours a night.
Me too.
Yeah,
But I think it shows that sleep is crucial.
absolutely.
And it's not just quantity, it's quality too.
Right.
You know, like a dark room, no screens before bed.
Oh, that makes a difference.
Yeah. It's about making those hours really count.
For sure.
Yeah.
So for our listeners, think about your sleep honestly.
Yeah.
Are you really prioritizing it?
Yeah. Even small improvements can have a big impact.
Absolutely. Now we can't talk about routines without acknowledging the elephant in the room.
Oh, yeah.
Parenthood.
Yeah. The book actually has a whole chapter dedicated to parents
That's great.
because kids are like the ultimate routine disruptors.
Oh, yeah. They don't care about your carefully planned schedule.
Exactly. They talk about Emily Schumann, the blogger behind Cupcakes and Cashmere,
Okay.
and how she tries to find balance between baby time and work.
With little sleep, I'm sure.
Probably not much sleep.
Hmm.
And I think for parents, it's about being flexible,
Absolutely.
finding what works within the chaos.
Right. It might not be the perfect routine,
Yeah.
but even 5 minutes of peace while the coffee brews can make a difference.
Totally. A little pocket of sanity.
Exactly. And then there's travel.
Travel is the worst for routines.
I know it throws everything off.
Right. But the book has tips for maintaining some structure even when you're on the go.
Oh, that's helpful.
Yeah. They talk about Chris Guillebeau, the author and traveler.
Okay.
He packs a small kettle so he can have his specific tea,
Wow.
no matter where he is in the world.
That's dedication.
Right. I think it's about focusing on the core principles of your routine,
Yeah.
not the exact actions.
So it's about adaptability.
Yeah. Like maybe it's 10 minutes of journaling, even if you're not in your usual spot.
Exactly. Find a way to make it work.
Yeah. So for your next trip, think about what one thing you can do to maintain some you time,
Good idea.
even amidst the change of scenery.
Makes sense. And finally, the book ends on a note that I think is really important.
Oh, yeah.
Embracing imperfection.
Yes.
Life happens. Routines get disrupted.
Totally.
It's not about being perfect.
Yeah. They quote Tara Schneider, an athlete.
Okay.
She says, "Routine aids us in being our most productive, but change helps us expand our comfort zone. Both are positive."
I love that.
Right.
Gift.
It's so true.
So it's okay if you miss a day.
Yeah.
Don't beat yourself up about it.
Just get back on track.
It's about long-term consistency.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What matters is making the choice to align with your goals.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even if it's just one small step.
Yeah. So today we've just scratched the surface of morning routines.
There's so much more to explore.
But I think the key takeaway is that it's not about copying someone else's routine.
Right.
It's about understanding the principles.
And finding what works for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Experiment. Find what works for you and savor those small victories.
Absolutely. And to help you do that,
Yeah.
we've actually put together a 10-point summary of the key takeaways from the book.
Ooh, a little cheat sheet.
Exactly.
I love it. So let's dive into those 10 points now and see how we can apply them to create a morning routine that truly sets us up for success.
Sounds good.
All right, let's do it.
Let's go. Okay, so our first takeaway is all about those small wins.
Oh, yeah, those little victories.
Exactly. Starting your day by accomplishing something, even something tiny,
Yeah,
while you're still kind of fighting off that sleepiness,
right.
it builds momentum. It gives you a sense of progress.
Like priming the pump for the day.
Exactly. Takeaway number 2 focuses on the sensory experience of your morning ritual.
Ooh, yeah.
So it's not just about the caffeine.
Right.
It's about the aroma, the warmth of the mug,
The steam.
steam, exactly. All those sensory cues that help your brain shift gears
Holy.
from sleep mode to wakefulness.
I love that.
Yeah.
And takeaway number 3 reminds us that we're all different
Yeah.
when it comes to energy level.
Absolutely.
So if you're a night owl, don't force yourself to be a morning person.
Right. Find what works for you and
Mm.
structure your day around your natural rhythms.
Exactly. All right, takeaway number 4 brings us to exercise.
Oh, yes.
And it's not just about the physical benefits.
It's about mental resilience, too.
Yeah.
Even a small amount of exercise can strengthen your willpower.
Okay.
Gives you a sense of accomplishment that carries over into other areas of your life.
So it's like a mental workout too.
Exactly. All right, moving on to takeaway number 5, which is all about mindfulness and expanding our idea of what meditation can be.
Right.
It's not just about sitting on a cushion.
It could be anything.
It could be anything. It could be focused dishwashing, mindful running.
Capturing your dreams.
Exactly. It's about bringing awareness to whatever you're doing.
Totally. Present moment awareness.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, takeaway number 6 highlights the power of evening preparation.
Oh, yeah.
Setting yourself up for success the night before.
Totally.
Taking some time to plan, organize, declutter your mind.
Right.
It makes such a difference in the morning.
It's like a gift to your future self.
Absolutely. And speaking of gifts, takeaway number 7 is all about sleep.
Yes. The foundation of good routine
Great.
and a good life.
Seriously.
Quality sleep is essential for your mood, your focus, your energy levels.
Everything. And takeaway number 8 is for all the parents out there.
Yes.
Because, let's face it, kids can throw a wrench in any routine.
Oh, yeah.
But the key is flexibility.
Absolutely.
Find what works for you and your family.
Even if it's just 5 minutes of peace while you sip your coffee.
Yeah.
A little pocket of sanity.
Exactly. And then we have takeaway number 9 for all you travelers out there.
Oh, yeah. Travel can be tough on routines.
Yeah, that throws everything off.
But the key is to adapt.
Right.
Focus on the core principles of your routine
Exactly.
and find ways to make them work in any environment. Make it work.
Exactly. And finally, takeaway number 10 is a reminder to embrace imperfection.
Oh, yes.
Life happens, routines get disrupted.
Totally.
It's not about being perfect, it's about being consistent,
Right.
getting back on track when you fall off.
Long-term consistency trumps short-term perfection.
Exactly. So there you have it, our 10 takeaways for creating a morning routine that works for you.
It's interesting because the book focuses so much on, successful people.
Right.
But it makes me wonder, what about people who aren't conventionally successful?
That's a good question.
Do their routines look different?
Yeah.
Or is routine itself like a factor in achieving success?
It makes you wonder if maybe it's not about the specific actions,
Yeah.
but about the mindset behind having a routine.
Like the intentionality
Yeah.
of shaping your day.
Taking control.
Yeah. Could that be a factor in success, regardless of external achievements?
That's a fascinating idea.
Right.
It would be interesting to see some research on that,
Yeah.
comparing routines of people from different backgrounds.
Different levels of success
Exactly.
to see if there are any correlations.
Do certain routine elements lead to certain outcomes?
Right. Or is it really about that underlying mindset
That's a great point.
of I'm going to take charge of my day?
Absolutely. So much we can learn from studying how people live their lives.
Totally. Well, I think this has been a really insightful look into morning routines.
It's been a great discussion.
Huge thanks to Benjamin Spall and Michael Xander for their book, My Morning Routine.
Yes, great book.
And to you, our listeners, thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Absolutely.
We encourage you to experiment with these ideas. Find what works for you.
And let us know what you discover.
Yeah. Share your morning routine wins with us.
We'd love to hear them.
Until next time, may your mornings be filled with purpose energy.
And a sense of accomplishment.
Absolutely.